If you're like me, every day you get lots of email. You, of course, also get correspondence from the post office, and you get just lots of communication coming to you. Now, if we just take email, for example, on my phone in any given day, there will be emails from many different retailers. There'll be emails from authors that I follow, from publishers, from stores that I have inquired about something from events, from arts and culture events and activities going on. There'll just be a host of things coming through. And many of these things are exciting to see, they're intriguing to see, they're interesting to see, because after all, I asked to receive all of this email. And in some cases, you're getting email from someone you might not have heard from in a long time. Now, if we mix in with that family messages, friends, school you might have gone to, a association you belong to, or some kind of industry activity, it means there's a sea of communication that's coming at you every day. Now, with all of this automation and all of this volume, there is no surprise that something can get lost in this sea, even something that you might be interested in reading about and following up with. In fact, last night I was going through my email, and there was someone that had written to me a couple of weeks back, and I realized, wow, I hadn't responded to him, and I had to respond to him. And then there was a series of orders that came through for various things that we offer, and I had to remind someone, or actually tell them for the first time, that these orders had come through on my email and that I needed someone to follow through and make sure these things happen. So it's there's just a tremendous amount of communication that's happening today. Much of it's automated, much of it is coming in volume, and the interesting thing is that everything that comes in is surpassed by something else. So while you're looking at something, you're getting notice that some news event has taken place, some new development has taken place, some person has done something noteworthy that you might be interested in. So imagine for a moment your marketing activities and how the person that you are marketing to is receiving your information. What happens often as an entrepreneur is we might get disappointed at the response from our marketing efforts. Why hasn't this person responded? Why is this person not opening the emails? Why isn't this person clicking on the link that I sent them? I know that this is something they'd be interested in. Why aren't they watching this video? Why aren't they taking advantage of this offer? Well, the reality is that people are inundated with information. And unless you are absolutely compelling in what you offer and absolutely unique in who you are, it will be deferred to another time, or it might not even be opened or looked at. And if it's something that requires more than a minute or two of attention, often a person will say, I'll look at it later, and never look at it. They will conclude that, oh, it's just more of the same, and they won't look at it. So this is the challenge of the environment that we're in today. Attention spans are smaller than they've ever been. I used to work with a guy, and he used to say to me, I have a short attention span. And he did have a short attention span, but I wonder what he's like today, because with the attention span that he had in the past enabled him to read books, watch documentaries, look at old films. Today, there are a lot of people who can't even do that because their mind is wandering. They've been trained by technology and just the pace of information to look for the next thing constantly. Now, that said, it means that you have to become really good at cutting through. And how do you cut through? You have to get personal. You have to get personal with your audience. Now, I know you might have heard sometimes in conversation, don't get too personal. Don't get personal with someone. Well, that's exactly what you have to do, because no one believes your personal headline anymore. No one believes your personal salutation in your email. No one believes that because your email is written in a personal way, that they're the only person receiving it. They don't believe that anymore because everyone is clued in. Now, I'm often pleased when I see that someone will open an email because I have creatively approached the way I have crafted a headline and put the content in. But again, a lot of people will say, okay, I see what's happening here. I'm not going to do that again. So by getting personal, that means you have to find more and more ways to connect with your audience, whether it's someone you're networking with, whether it's a staff member, whether it's a customer, a client, in a personal way. And when you connect with them in a personal way, you are able to underscore your concern, your interests, your value of what's important to them. The other thing that you'll find when you get personal with someone is you'll realize that they have not looked at many of the things you sent. They didn't understand it. They didn't value it. They didn't read it completely. They misinterpreted it. And so all of the creativity that you have put into your marketing and in your communication is not effective because many people, most people, are not paying attention. So what does get personal mean? It means you pick up the phone and you call someone and you say, I sent you an email, you didn't open it, so I thought I'd give you a call. You might not have understood what I was offering. I knew you would be busy, or I knew that this would be something that would be of interest to you, so I wanted to be sure I followed up with you. When you do that, what you'll find is that there are so many people who will respond favorably because you're connecting with them in a human way. And they are grateful that you made the call, grateful that you brought it to their attention. And so now your issue is put at the top of the list. And this is very important, particularly if you're trying to get people to buy a particular product or attend an event or participate in something online. They have to be reminded and reminded and reminded, and even then, most people will not participate, will not show up, will not buy, will not engage. It's just the reality. It's always been that way, but it's even more challenging today because there are so many people and so many issues competing for their time. And we're trained to think that, oh, if I get a text message that's urgent, or if this person is calling, let me call them right back and see what they need. There are people today that you could call, don't reach, leave a voicemail explaining exactly what it is that you're calling for, and they won't listen to the voicemail. They'll just call you back thinking, oh, what is it? And so you'll have to repeat it. Or my pet peeve is someone will call and I'll be in a meeting or something or doing something else, and they won't leave a voicemail. So now I'm wondering, well, why did they call? What did they want? What was the issue? And they could have easily told me in a voicemail, and that could have helped me understand how to prioritize what they're saying, how it fits into other things, and so forth. So you have to get personal today, and you have to understand that getting personal has to be part of your strategy, whether you are running a business, looking for a job, trying to build a network, whatever it is you're doing, running a school, you have to get personal. There's just so much communication, thanks to this, that is coming through, that you've got to find a way to enhance what you're doing. Now, it doesn't mean that your marketing won't work, and your email newsletter and all those things that you're doing, your boosting of your posts and all these things that we do today. We have a completely different language that we have to get used to. It doesn't mean all those things aren't important and aren't effective, but it does mean that if you really want people to understand what it is you're saying And to see the value and the relevance to them, you've got to get personal. If you like this tip, give me a thumbs up. Get personal with me. Let me know. Make a comment. Share it with someone in your network. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. And of course, I'll see you next time.